And hey, this past week has been crazy because we have been talking about people who, if you ask me, they are exemplifying that name and they use religion to hide behind that. Of course, there's still a whole lot of that. You can find cult of death, controversial Bible verse, fight for church, and Pastor Mackenzie run-ins with the police. It's on page 12 and page 13. And another one here, it is not hiding behind religion, but hiding behind authority. And it's saying justice at last. It's page 3 of the Daily Nation. As killer chief to cool heels in jail for 10 years. Mariam, imagine this story. It is so horrible. 3 boys were frog marched to a bush and they were beaten senselessly. Apparently, they were accused of stealing some money. Now, the parents of these kids said, you know what, if it's money that they've taken, I can sell some stuff and give you this money. And these guys refused and they took these kids to the chief. And the chief said, you know what, let's take them to the bush and we're going to beat them until they confess. It's such a horror story. They put things in their mouth, like they put some plants that made their tongues swell to the extent that they couldn't scream. And their parents were there just hearing and being, told you can't go close to your kids or anything. They were beaten to the extent that 2 of them died. 2 of them died there and 1 escaped. In fact, the guy who escaped just turned 20. And this was 10 years ago, actually 12 years ago. So you can imagine 12 years ago, he was 8. And he was saying he is lucky to be alive. This case was almost thrown out a couple of years ago because apparently there was lack of evidence, in quotes. But they're saying there's justice finally. From 2012, in 2023, this Assistant Chief Stephen Kinyua has been sentenced to 10 years for doing that. If you ask me, 10 years is very short.
It's too little. He needs life imprisonment. I don't understand. There's a way in which violence only seems to be the answer to all our problems. And we started so young. By the time you're beating kids in school, you're already passing that message that, you know what, there's actually no way to get anything through to you except through violence. And then that becomes okay, such that even if it's mandamano still with the police, the only way to get things through to you is through violence.
Yeah.
And then you see now cases like this, and it's just people are so emboldened that you could beat someone to death. I think that is it's not an issue of you're trying to get them to confess to 16,000 shillings of stolen money, which is what they had allegedly stolen. It's just your own frustrations that you're taking out on this child. And it's murder. 10 years is a little is very little, and it comes after 10 years, but still it's not nothing.
Can you imagine this, Mariam?
Thankful.
Can you imagine this? Even before we go on break?
Yeah.
They eventually found the money.
Where was
Apparently it was not the kids who stole it. They apparently found the money, and after they found the money, it was safely returned. And the people who got the money back did not say a thing.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's a devastating story. You can read more about it on the e-paper as well, even as you read more about what's happening in different parts of these papers, the Daily Nation, the Business Daily, the